stand up against the harmful stereotypes that have been perpetrated against the men. I'm coming here to represent myself and a few. We live in a century where we live on lies. Society said the girls and we have to comply. We gonna pay reviews, we don't get reviews. Not how we get broken and we fall into the news. But it's all the brothers say we gonna take a stand. Represent hope, revealing the brand. We gonna take a brother hand and them power elevates every boy, every man. Learn me. I just want to redeem my life slowly. Learn me. I just want to redeem my life slowly. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. My brothers, we here for you. I understand the struggle, but I've been there too. No diminution that come by you. All the elements of pain that put me through. But look upon the horizon. See mankind winning and rising. Rejected, coming and fighting. Oh Lord, this is so exciting. Learn me. I just want to redeem my life slowly. Learn me. I just want to redeem my life slowly. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. We live in a century where we live on lies. Society said the girls and we have to comply. We gonna pay reviews, we don't get reviews. Not how we get broken and we fall into the news. But it's all the brothers say we gonna take a stand. Represent hope, revealing the brand. We gonna take a brother hand in hand. Them power elevates every boy, every man. Learn me. I just want to redeem my life slowly. Learn me. I just want to redeem my life slowly. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. You've been faithful, love. You've been faithful.
Oh Lord, I'm glad you know my name. You set my heart aflame. You set my feet on a solid rock to stay. I'm glad I made this choice. You've given me a voice, and now I can rejoice.
Watch it cold move. They call me Mr. Diligent. When we meet a peace, the Lord, I'm dining with the president. Thankful for my warriors who bring me through the testament. Calling on my warriors, calling on my warriors. Everything me put me have to do in it for 100. Time to praise the Lord, we say we praising him for 100. Working in the ministry, we working it for 100. Working it for 100. Working it for 100. Everything we put we have to do in it for 100. Time to praise the Lord, we say we praising him for 100. Working in the ministry, we working it for 100. Working it for 100.
Oh Lord, I'm glad you know my name. You set my heart aflame. You set my feet on a solid rock to stay. I'm glad I made this choice. You've given me a voice, and now I can rejoice.
DJ, turn that music up, yes, turn it up louder. Never make make it stop. Take the message to the Father. This is how we do it, cause we talk the truth to power. Walking in the spirit, walking in the water. Happy that we bless. Full 100, walking in forgiveness. Full 100, healing from disease. Full 100, totally redeemed. Full 100, strength to the youth. Full 100, friendly with the truth. Full 100, free from oppression. Full 100, are we on a mission? Full 100. They call me Mr. Diligent. When me ways are pleased, the Lord, I'm dining with the president. Thankful for the warriors who bring me through the testament. Bring me through the testament. Bring me through the testament. Everything we put, we have to do it full 100. Time to praise the Lord, we say we praising it full 100. Working in the ministry, we working it full 100. Working it full 100. Working it full 100. Everything we put, we have to do it full 100. Time to praise the Lord, we say we praising it full 100. Working in the ministry, we working it full 100. Working it full 100.
Well. That was a good friend of mine, Ted Jones, Edward Jones, pulled together that video there. He's an artist, he's a musician, he's a multi-skilled gentleman. So, you know, he did that. And the song before that spoke about the theme of International Men's Day, Learn Me, also performed by Ted Jones. Alright, my people, good evening to you all. Thank you very much for joining us and joining us on time. Tonight we have a very serious program that we're talking about, because we're talking about ourselves. We're looking inwardly. We're not studying about what people doing to us or what our spouse did to hurt us and so on. This is the hardest program. This is the hardest aspect of relationship, looking at yourself. So while you're doing that, I'm going to ask you to just share with me 2 things that you feel that people do to mess up relationship. Not you, other people do to mess up relationship. Just share to me two things. And while you're doing that, while you're sending that in on the chat, if you wish to call in and have a talk with us, 480-0080. If you're calling from outside of the country, you can call the code first, 868-480-0080. You get that? That's simple. Nice. So you can call in, you go to WhatsApp, etc. That having been said, let me say hello to Edwin Tulsi. Thank you very much, Edwin, for joining us. Orville Melville, good evening to you. Nicely. Angel Wilson, nice having you on. Joy, hey my good friend Joy, nice having you. Gushad, I think is the name or the pronunciation, or Gishad. I'll get it one day. My friend Kenneth Hodge, thank you very much for joining us. Joanne Benjamin, good evening to you. Much love to you too. Yes, and she commends Ted. Timothy Benjamin, welcome my boy. Timothy, hey, Father's Day around the corner. Eh? Remember we talk about this Father's Day thing. We waiting and watching them ladies, you know, for Father's Day. We watching like Mappy P. Let her come. Alright. Who else we have here? Hey, my darling sister, Deanne Robinson. Yep, good evening to you. Rock and come in, my sister. Rock and come in, everybody. Hey, Lisa Shallow, good evening. That's all the way from St. Vincent. Thank you very much for joining us. Pamela Martin, good evening to you. So, all of you great people. Zanifa, yes, from Trinidad. Married to a very good friend of mine. I love their family. Thank you very much for joining us. All right. So, we have a long program tonight. Well, I'm going to try and pack plenty things into it tonight. Let me just give you the synopsis, the summary of tonight's program. Yes? Let me take a drink for that. So, many times in relationships, as a counselor for over 35 years, I'm a licensed marriage officer. What was counseling before that? So 35 years as a licensed marriage officer, performing license. I performed so many marriages. I performed the first and only underwater wedding in this country. That first are doing weddings. I do it 30 feet underwater. But be that as it may. I've had some years. I'm also married for 39 years. So there are some things that I feel that I understand and I want to be able to share with you all so that you all will be able to understand also. In relationships, whenever people come in for counseling, there's an over hyper attention to what the person they are in the relationship with, what they have done wrong. They are so acute to it that they are not aware of their own faults, of what they are doing to cause a rippling effect in the relationship. You all follow me? So, I'm asking you to just put down two things that you do to cause problems in your relationship. Alright? But I also want you to put two things you do and two things the other person, that somebody else, even if you're not in a relationship now, but two things that you think people do to cause wrecking in the relationship. Alright? So, start putting it inside of the chat because we want to get those out of the way real quick. Alright. Good evening, Doris Singh. Nice having you. Lyndon, you're not home yet? Hurry up and get home, Lyndon. Alright. I see Lisa Shadow has already put cheating. Alright. That's a biggie. And allowing outsiders to influence the relationship. Mother-in-law, father-in-law, other people, your friends and so on, always coming in and have a say in the relationship. They want to tell you how to run yours. They can't run theirs. And sometimes they're trying to let you run yours like theirs. No. So I agree with Lisa concerning that. The outsiders to influence the relationship are two ways relationships are destroyed. Nicely. Thank you very much for sharing that. Alright. So we continue. So in the meanwhile, let's put your two and put the other person two. So I'm saying that when you're in this relationship and people come in for counseling, most people come in and looking to blame the other person. That is point number one. They're either looking to cast blame, which is one, so they will sit for hours to tell you how bad this person is that they are in this relationship with. And they selected or elected to be in this relationship, right? So, casting blame is one. The second thing is, they try to look good. So, one is, he don't do this for me. He cheat on me. He don't care. Or she don't respect me. She does never study me. She does study her friends more. So that is the blaming part. And he's blaming her. She's blaming him. So that's one. But the second one is, they want to look good. So here's what they usually say. I would have never done that because they want to look good. I just wash for him. I just clean out. I just work my tail to the bone. You want to look good. He wants to look good. and talk about their work, how much work he doing and working hard, and how many hours he work, and how he bring home, pay the bills and all of that, to show that he's a good man. Everybody does that. 1, to cast blame. 2, to look good. And 3, to avoid looking bad. Tonight, all you have to take notes, people. I figure all you have to take notes tonight. Tonight is too important, because I'm really running off of momentum, actually. You see, normally I would bring what the psychologists say and all of that and so on. Last week and this week, I just offloaded and sharing with you. Right? So, to blame, that's what everybody wants to do when they come in for counseling. 2, to avoid looking bad. And 3, to look good. The avoid looking bad is whenever the person is pointing out what you have done wrong, you jump in and don't want them to finish it. And you turn the story back on them. But you don't do it too. You hurt me too. Etc. So they want to avoid looking bad. I didn't mean it so. I didn't know that is how you took it. Alright? Thank you all for posting the things that you are sharing. So, I'm assuming that you all will post which one is yours and which one is what you think the other person may have. So, the fact that I'm seeing that Lisa has posted a second time means that she is saying that this one is the one where she is guilty of. I'm hoping so, and I hope I'm not misrepresenting it. Excessive complaining and moodiness. Alright? Thank you very much for sharing us. Oh, Lyndon, you now got home. I thought you said you're not home. Alright. Joy said lack of communication and lying. Alright. Thank you very much. Solange Kwaku, ungratefulness is one of the components. Alright. Controlling, says Zanifa. Unhealthy communication and wrong perception of love. Thank you all very much. Thank you. To Edwin, not spending enough quality time, not communicating properly. Hodge, based on observation, the 2 things that erodes relationship is buying into outside influence and general insecurities. Wow. Well, I don't know if I've met Biz Jizz as yet. I think this might be the first time Biz Jizz is on the line. Biz, if this is your first time, let us know. And if it is, welcome. Welcome to Mike at Night. Rock and come in, have a seat. Sweeping major issues under the carpet. Nice one, says Biz. In an effort to maintain peace, which is avoidance, is what we call that. Don't effectively communicate needs and neglect personal needs. Well, you give me a mouthful then. Zanipa said domineering, not being truthful, first with self and also with your partner. Hey, that's a hard one, You think it easy being truthful to yourself, Biz? That is an easy one, my lady. Hey, alright. So, nice. I like that. Alright. Oh, Giselle. Alright. Okay. Thank you very much. Nicely. Appreciate it. Alright. So, let's now deal with some of these things that we're talking about, how we need to audit ourselves. Because the problem in getting people to reconcile when relationships break up is getting the person to take the eyes off of the other person and just look inwardly. You cannot change other people. We are too preoccupied with the faults of our partners and with people that we are getting into relationship with that we don't have time to see that we are triggering them just as they are triggering us. Even if you walk out of a relationship with a person and you go into a next relationship and you have not changed, you are just recycling yourself. You are just going into another relationship the same way as you are to create the same situation that you just left. But because some people don't see themselves, they think that it is this next person just like the last one they left, and the one before that, and the one before that, because there's no accountability, no self-reporting. That is what it happens. So let's look at your own self-flags, personal flags that we have. Number one. I hope you all taking notes, people. Frida Leaks, you can come in. You can come in, Frida Leaks. Lyndon said on gratefulness and comparing your relationship with others. Hey, yes. Alright. Remember, put all your own faults also, people. All of you all. And let me know which one is yours. Because the ability to identify your own problem is half your healing. Because you will be able to work on that which you have control over. You can't control the other person that you're trying to be in the relationship. Only yourself. So for things to change, says Jim 1, I must change. Number one, notice how you handle conflict. That's a major red flag. If you are a person who handling conflict through aggression, shouting, screaming, and hostility, violence, and so on, there is something not settled with you. All follow me? Because conflict reveals who you are. It is a red flag. That's how you show up in people's life. So whenever you meet disagreements and you meet conflict, your ability to manage that, the way how you managing it, says whether you are whole or broken. There are people who actually falsely convince themselves that their aggression, hostility, foul mouth, and their fighting is affirmative action, understanding self, and not standing nonsense from people. When it is toxic in a man, and it is toxic in a woman. I said it. So therefore, it behooves us to look at ourselves and say, I wonder if I am not triggering my partner. Every time you shout, your partner is likely to shout back, and shout back louder or shut down. Let me say that again. There are two actions that take place in a relationship when they're shouting. If you are the man and you shout, she's likely to shout back at you. Or she will shut down, stonewall you. Meaning, you're not going to get much of a response, more than one word. Okay. If you say so. Alright, I say, alright. That's what you're going to get. But that's not quality communication. And if you are a woman and you think that every time you are upset with something, you have to start raising the roof. Nah, something is wrong with you too. I come in playing with all of tonight, you know. Tonight is the battle night. Yeah? So, yes, Lyndon, the bottling up of everything is what happens whenever there is that tension and hostility in the house. Good evening, Latoya Gift. Nice having you. Bill said the main thing with accountability is honesty. Right. Absolutely. Let me see what Bill said. She said she read something. It said, be responsible for telling people the truth, not managing people's reaction. The key thing is to be honest in love. Yep, that's right. Charming, carry excess baggage. Alright, nice. I appreciate all the feedback we're getting from you all. Bad advice and carrying news. We coming to some of that, Latoya. Yes? Alright. So, number one is, I want you to look at yourself and ask yourself sincerely, do you handle conflict in a healthy manner? We will have conflict. What do you do in the conflict? Do you sit down, discuss, listen? Because before you can answer, you must listen. Give the person a chance to say how they feel, and even if they are arguing, don't join the argument. Please, for heaven's sake, don't join the argument. Because for somebody to argue with us, we have to sign up for that argument also. They cannot argue with themselves. So when people tell me, it's every day we will be arguing, he does only be arguing with me or she only arguing with me. What were you doing while they were arguing? Not arguing back? Because that's the only way you're going to have a fight between you all. So I'm suggesting, watch and ask yourself whether you're a conflict person. There are some people that they overthink, and every time somebody says something innocently, they take it completely wrong. Because they have so much negative inside of their head that they take it completely out of context. No! How do you handle conflict? Conflict would always bring emotional wounds. It will resurrect emotional wounds that has nothing to do with this relationship. Sometimes it comes from the past. It comes from family life. When you were with your parents of origin, issues that you were hurt from since then. It could come from past relationships where you were abused or you were not treated well, etc. Things that happened in your life that you're angry about. That's where sometimes conflict comes from. But we put it over in this relationship. It is what we do is use a defense mechanism. I wish I could have gone into some defense mechanism. I might have to do that on the next program. But defense mechanism is whenever we are uncomfortable, we do certain things that cause us to react to situations. So let's take a defense mechanism. Displacement. You get upset with the stress you're getting on with in work. Work is stressing you out. Too much work. You have a boss that you just can't get along with. You're having problems to meet deadlines in work. But you come home with the stress. So guess who you're going to shout at? Scream at. You'll kick the dog. You'll shout at the children. And you will verbally abuse your spouse. It's called displacement because where you're supposed to put the blame, you don't. It was your boss. It was your work. But you can't talk to your boss as you like. So you talk to who you could control, who you could take it out on. The children, your husband, your wife. It's a defense mechanism. So there are people who argue with us, quarrel with us, criticize us, say things about us, say things about you that had nothing to do with you. They are just finding a place to dump garbage because they don't want to dump the garbage in their own yard. So they look to dump the garbage in your yard. Hey, we have plenty to cover today. So, if I ask you, how do you manage your own conflict? I hope people will be honest enough with themselves to say how they really handle it. Because some of us do not handle conflict well. We jump off the wagon, we say hurtful things, we malign, we insult, we brutalize and abuse and bully people with our words when we are angry. And then after we cool down, we are sorry. But let me tell you, hurtful words do not erase so easily. You don't have a delete button for after you have said some hurtful things, insulted people. You don't have a delete button, my friend. So therefore, always put a guard on your mouth. The Bible says, don't be hasty to utter things before God, because God hates the promise of a fool. Alright? Yeah. Boy, the number of things that you all write in there now, I have to try and check that. Some of you all might have to read it after. I give chance for the person to speak, but as soon as I start to say my piece, it's crossed off. So I shut up most times. Well, that is what we're talking about, shutting down. But we're going to come to that also. I also like people don't like people bawling at me. Well, Charmin, me and you in the same boat. That does tick me off when somebody shouting at me. Right? Don't bawl at me. You understand? This is not a ball game. It's ball game when they don't have no microphone. They have to bawl at the people outside there, because they have to shout above the noise of the crowd. I ain't in no ball game. So don't ball me. Don't like ball gaming at me, because I will react in an instant. Don't react, my dear Charmaine. That is what we're saying. Don't let them lead you down a wrong road. Don't call me names either. So let's take Charmaine. Because Charmaine is saying exactly what she's just being honest. And it's what we normally do. We do the tit for tat. Somebody does something to us we don't like, we feed them it. That never extinguishes a conflict. It inflames it. It puts gas on it. This is why the Bible says, if your enemy treats you bad, you treat the enemy good. Heap coals of fire on their head. Don't let the person set the low standard for your life, that they shout and carry on bad with you, and so therefore you compete for the bottom. Or you could shout and talk to me so I could talk to you worse. That is competing for the bottom. Take it up higher. Yes. So I want to tell everybody that. I hope you all taking notes. Tonight is very important. Right. Latoya says lack of gift. Lack of effort, sorry. Latoya gift says lack of effort. Hod says take two to tango. Also, many like to overanalyze every statement made in a conversation and taking things out of context. Yes. Listen to what the person is trying to say. They may not say the words that are correct, but try to understand what they say. Right? Let me see what Frida Leak saying. Sometimes it's good to walk away and come back to the situation another time. Hey, what if the argument is midnight? They're walking far. But I understand what Frida Leak is saying. Yes. What she's saying here is take time out. Find a way to take a time out. And just ask the person, give me a time out. Give me a time out. I need to pull myself together. I need to pull my thoughts together. Mentally, I can't handle this discussion now. I just came from work. I had a stressful day. Can we do this tomorrow? That's all right. Okay? I don't know what Lyndon's saying. That is why he stay quiet. But I guess it's the quarrel he's talking about. Alright. Jillian says that she cannot stay silent. It's tit for tat. I appreciate, Jillian, for you being authentic and saying and sharing that, because that's generally how we do it. We shouldn't be so, but unfortunately that's the way we do it. But sometimes we pretend, because here's what people tell me: he or she just come and talk to me and start to wait. That's how they describe it. He only can't start to shout, and he just shouting down the place. All the children start to cry. And I say, why do you have to behave so? Noted? You hear how the two different tones of the voice? One, they are blaming and also trying to look good, as though they never raise their voice. Wait, that's what how he spoke to me, or how she spoke to me. And she carry on. He carry on. And I say, what did I do to offend you? Why is it we can't talk this out? The person in most time never spoke like that. but trying to give the impression. Because when you ask the other person, the person eyes sometimes will be opening up. Because they say, no, the kind of cuss word that the person drop on me. That's why we can't solve issues. Conflict is one of the most difficult things to do. And not only conflict between relationships, church conflict also hard to discuss, because it's the same lying and imitation and imagery going down inside of that. Same thing takes place in politics. Same thing takes place in the workplace. Hello, if you all know somebody who could do well with this thing, call them now. Call them and tell them to tune into Mike at Night. It may help somebody. And by the way, you see that number that's scrolling across the screen? Some of you all could save your relationship before it is too late by giving that number a call. WhatsApp in the number and setting an appointment to come in and let's talk. The thing is, a lot of people with their pride not coming in for help. So if you have a sore and you're not taking care of it because you don't want to go into the doctor and you don't want to see the line up at the hospital or in the doctor's office, or the sore is too embarrassing and so on, it does not stop the sore from getting worse. But when the sore gets real bad, you want the doctor to perform miracles. When it could have been solved easily if you had come in early. And the same thing with relationships. A lot of people wait till the relationship is at crack base. And then they're coming in and want you in 2 sessions to restore things. It does not happen so. Yeah? Alright. So let me see. Alright. Fionn says, I used to be defensive when my partner raises an issue. Alright. Thank you very much for being authentic, Fionn. That's one of the defense mechanisms. Because remember we said there are 3 things. 1, we try to cast blame. 2, we are trying to avoid looking bad. That is what happens, what Fionn is now talking about there. When he says, whenever his partner raises an issue that makes him look bad, he is going to defend himself. Now sometimes what the spouse is raising is true, but we just don't like to hear it. So we're going down trying to look good. All you with me? By the way, I ain't seen my partner Lawrence Flamand yet for the night. I wonder where he there. Alright. Lyndon don't like argument, it affects him. Yeah, alright. That's why he stays quiet. Okay. I see. Thanks, Charmaine. Latoya says she been angry and her temper. Sometimes stress causes that. Timothy, I've been very cautious of what ticks my wife off. So I stop putting ticks where she gets ticked off about and start putting X. Cause X marks his spot. I hope it working, my boy. Let me know if it working, eh? You think you easy? Alright. People continue to put your faults because it is liberating. May I say? It is liberating. When you can see yourself and say, this is where I go wrong. Let me tell you how some people are so much not in a position to be accountable and fool themselves. One of the things I do sometimes with couples is ask them to say what are the problems of the other person in the marriage, and just write them down, and I would give them a piece of paper and they would write and write and write, and some have asked for extra paper. What the boyfriend doing, what the girlfriend doing, what the husband doing, what the wife doing. Like they want extra paper. And they're doing it in quick order. They're not even stopping to think. It's as though they had it all rehearsed inside of their head. Even though they did not know they were going to have to write it down. And then when I say, write down for me all of the faults you have that caused this relationship to be in the Christ it is. People start to look up in the air. They look about. They put the pen in their mouth. And they write. And I'm surprised the number of people who write on their paper. My expectations are too high of people. They're using that as their, in other words, in a reverse psychology, they are talking about how good they are still. Some people will put, I'm just a perfectionist, so that's my fault. But they're putting that, they may be that way, but they are putting it down, but it is couched in the idea of still they're good. Because they still think that that is it. And some people would actually put, my standards are just too high. First, they can't even see their faults. Hey, Mortal Magnite, you're late. But what can come in, take a seat in the back and don't make no noise. Chef said, I must not be the one with my foot in my mouth. Alright, so therefore, guard your mouth so that you don't say things out of haste. Nicely, people. Alright, so we deal with conflict, and I hope we're going to find some better ways to do conflict. And here, I should tell you all, when one person is talking, hush your mouth. Lawyers, when the other lawyer gets up to speak, whether it is on a point of order or objection, as they call it, the other lawyer sits down. Two lawyers don't stand up together and arguing inside of a court. One sits down. So if when you all are in a conflict and one is speaking, oh my goodness, hush now, and let the person finish. And that person who took the time to speak, give time for the other person too. Right? So, after you have spoken, try not to interrupt the next person who is now getting a chance to say their part after you had your run. I just say, and let me just say, in couples, whenever we quarrel, whether it's husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, inside of the quarrel, the person must know. They must feel and be assured, I still love you. I don't agree with you. But they must be able to tell that you still love them. If by the time you are finished with a quarrel, the person feels beaten down, torn up, dehumanized, feel like a wet rag, your conflict management issue has just started. You have a problem. Because the person must never feel mashed up after you finish. Of course they will feel sad. We could understand that. Of course they're not going to be happy. We could understand that. But they must know at least I got a stern discussion that is now going to put me on a better footing to now think about myself and think about what took place. Yes? Alright, so let me see. Wellington, thank you very much. Hi Chanel, all of these strange names that you're all using, I know you all otherwise, but I don't know these sobriquets and these cover-up names. He said, I don't like getting angry, I make a fist and I tremble. Wow, yes, that is emotionally taxing, Charmaine. So for me, it's better if I don't say anything. That is an option. But don't not say anything and bottle it up, because that too is bad. And the thing about relationship is that we should allow in the relationship the person to have the right to say how they truly feel, even though we do not agree with them. Because that's the only way the communication is going to be meaningful. And you have your discussion back and forth, control your tone and all of that. And you could always end and say, well, you know, we end it. I still have not been convinced that I should change my mind. I still hold my same position. And the person should be able to say, well, I also hold my same position. And you all must know all you love each other. And you will say, but I still love you. I will love you regardless of how you think. Can't we do that? Dog does bite us. We own pet dog does bite us, and we are still going to love up the dog, hug up the dog, kiss up the cat. Huh? But we behaving huggish with people that we in a relationship with. Anyway. Yes, Wellington was saying, I try to deal with conflict in a healthy way, but I have a bad habit of shouting. Thank you, thank you. A lot of authenticity coming out here with people admitting where they have a challenge with. So if we have a shouting issue, it's because we are really troubled on the inside. This is not about the other person. This is about you not being able to take on what you're hearing. So it is important to be able to manage that. We do have a relationship training session that we have on, the one that I recommended to you all last week. That has started, and it's not too late for people to start. Let me just give you a quick view of it. You'll need to message me because the website that registers people is in automatic mode. So once the date has passed, it is now going to decline any other person coming in. But if you message me privately and you want to pay, there's a cost for the program. It is a cheap cost. It is 410 TT, 410 TT for 4 weeks. 4 weeks, I'll send you videos. We'll have chat on the chat groups, and we will meet once a week in the 4 weeks, every Saturday at 6 o'clock. So if you do want to do that, send me it at the number that is across the screen, 868-480-0080. You know, some people, they say, I will call, you know, and then they change their mind. And then sometime later on, they can't find the number when they really need help. Alright? So, but you need to do that this week because we've just started it. So it is a right time that people can still come on and pay and be part of it. In US, it is 30 US, right? And 410. No, 60 US and 410 TT. Okay. Back on track now. Alright. Curtis Cox, thank you. Good evening to you. Hey, sister-in-law, Kim Jackson Stewart, boy, on the line. Kim is never home. Kim is all over the world. She travels more than these entertainers that doing world tour. Kim, say hello to my brother, please, and those lovely boys. Oh, okay, all right. I see. Chef Chanel. Baba. Okay, let's get back to the session now. So, handling conflict. Let me go now to people who, and I just don't want to come up with this one too soon. People who are in conflict. Sometimes it is what you call anxious attachment style. Attachment style is the way how we attach to our caregivers at birth, and we develop a personality based upon our socialization as we coming forward So it is that emotional and behavioral response that we have in relationship that shapes us by those early caregiving. So if we had a mother who used to shout, we become shouters. If we had a father who never used to say anything, whenever argument going on, he just shut down, we become like that. You understand? So that's attachment style. So let me just explain to you this attachment style issue. You have anxious attachment style. These people are more likely to use conflict, such as yelling and blaming and escalating an issue, because they have an anxious attachment style. They have a short fuse, and often the relationship satisfaction drops low. Every relationship they go into, they have a short fuse, they have a conflict. And they don't understand why is it they cannot successfully enjoy a relationship that is permanent and healthy. It might be your fuse. It might be your anxious attachment style that you think you have to shout and quarrel at every issue that bothers you. You don't need to. So there are ways that we could test to find out what is the attachment style of people. But again, if you call the number, we can help you with that. The other attachment style is what we call avoidant attachment style. This is the one that Lyndon was talking about, and I think Charmaine and some of the other people. The avoidant attachment style, where the person withdraws during the conflict, they shut down. But it also linked to poorer relationship quality, because you need engagement in the relationship, a to and fro, a back and forth. If the C only goes back, is it really a C? If the C only comes forward, is it really the C? The C needs to be to and fro. It refreshes itself because it is moving to and fro. The relationship will have its ups and downs. That is necessary and healthy. Don't resist it. It is how we deal with it. You all get that, my people? I hope you all get that. Please, all together. And then the third attachment style is the secure attachment style. The secure attachment style is when the person uses positive problem solving skills to open up discussion, open up communication, to get a greater result in the relationship. Even if there is conflict, the person can say, I realize that you are really upset. I had this assignment doing or this project doing. I'm prepared to shut it down. I want to hear from you. I want to understand what is bothering you. So please share. Only a secure attachment style will do that, because they are looking to solve problems. The others tend to look to see if I could give you problems because you gave me problems. So we slash and burn the relationship. And the other one is, I don't want no drama, I have nothing to say. But all the time they're boiling on the inside. That is the avoidant attachment style one. They have internal boil going on. And at another time, just a simple thing. Just a simple thing. And they crash. The same person who was avoiding saying nothing explode under a simple situation. Orville, thank you for being open and frank with us. He says he does the same thing, he shuts down. Now, do not lose your voice. And I want to tell each partner, do not make your spouse feel, or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife feel they do not have a right to speak. Allow them to feel free to speak and listen, so that you wouldn't have all of this shutting down. Alright. I only dealt with one thing so far. It's just the conflict issue we dealt with. We're almost to the top of the hour. I think I may have to do a part 2 with this next week. Timothy says, I need to practice patience. I've been battling with this all my life and the fight is still on. Alright. Yes. That I could understand. Right, and as I said, anybody who wishes to join our relationship, now is a good time for you to join, because we are really attacking these issues here from a more group session. Take it off of Facebook and deal with it. Curtis Cox, careful going around kissing cats, you might get scratched. Hodge, situation must not become caustic and toxic. The relationship should be viewed as an important feature in the midst of the conflict. That is right. Latoya says she goes from 0 to 100 in a second. Wow, that's a Ferrari, girl. You have a hot engine. But I understand what you mean. And you see, some good relationships we have destroyed because we don't have our temper under control. The emotional intelligence is low. We don't know how to manage the emotion and how to detect when the emotion is getting the better of us. And once we learn how to manage that, it really helps us going forward. This Saturday we're going to talk about some of that with the group that we are be doing the training with. Rosanna Hills. I don't know what Rosanna Hills is talking about. I see she said really. I don't know whether it's something I said or somebody else wrote on the chat. Rosanna, if this is your first time, welcome on board. Chanel said, I have the anxious attachment style and my husband has the avoidant attachment style. Yes. And the reason for that is, Chanel, is that most times, if you have somebody who attacks, the person is going to defend themselves against attacking, and they are going to now have the conflict because they are defending themselves. That's not good. Or this person attacks and this person shuts down, they say nothing, and that's still not good because this person doesn't get a chance to express how they truly feel. So they are living in unhappiness because every time this one opens their mouth, this one can't say anything, and this person still thinks that everything is going good. They think the silence of the person means that they are okay with what you just said. No. And then bam, you go home a day and they're gone. Pack up and leave. And you actually say, but we didn't have no quarrel. Of course you had no quarrel. That was your first flag. No quarrel. I think it's Latoya Curtis is saying you're faster than a dragster. Part 2. Alright, part 2. Okay, Charmin is saying we should really do the part 2. Right, thank you, Charmin. I look out for that also. Alright, yeah, but I really appreciate how you all have been really sharing, and I hope it now brings healing to people. Alright, so my number is 868-480-0080. I think I have a few more minutes, and I just want to deal with how we do apology. Sometimes the way be able to bring down the conflict, you'll be surprised that all somebody might be waiting on is just for you to take responsibility, just to say sorry. But because sometimes our ego is so high, in previous programs I told you that men are loyal to their ego. It's hard for us to look humbled or to be humbled or to come and bow down, admit that we're wrong. It's hard, but it is necessary. So I want to give you the 5 apology languages. Those of you who read the book, the 5 love languages. The same author that wrote, Gary Chapman, I think is his name, who wrote the 5 love languages, wrote the book 5 apology languages. And I'm going to share it in the next couple of minutes that we have. Kevin, thank you very much, Kevin. My personal fault is that I don't like to be disagreed with and I become evasive or attacked. Yep, I could understand that because when you're strong on your point, I think that's part of my issue too. When I feel I have a good point and I have a rational position and somebody come and tell me they don't agree with it, and especially if they can't defend it, well, that'll tick me off. But I need to learn to just stop long enough to help them to be able to express themselves so that I'll get a better understanding and idea of their position. There are people who just don't have the ability to really explain themselves, but their thoughts are deep and their points are valid. But sometimes we don't give these people the opportunity to share it. So I could dig you there, Kevin. Curtis says silence can be dangerous. Better you hear what the person have on their mind, because they can explode worse than a volcano. Latoya says silent mean control. Silent mean control. I'm not too sure. I think you'll have to clarify that for me, Latoya. I'm not too sure whether it is the person has control over the person who's silent, or the person is controlling you by their silence, which some people try to control us by their silence. Alright, the 5 apology language. Number 1, the person might be, to solve your relationship issue, they might be just waiting for you to just come out and say, I am sorry. If that's all they want to hear, because that might be their language. I am sorry. The second apology language is accepting responsibility. So besides saying I am sorry, there are some people, don't just tell me you're sorry. They want you to take responsibility by actually admitting that you were wrong. So they want to hear, I am sorry, I was wrong. I should not have spoken to you like that. I should not have behaved like that. I should not have said that. You're taking responsibility. And then they say, yes, I understand. Edward Jones, I'm not even bothering with you. Not bothering with you one bit. Yeah. Charmaine said silence means you don't want conflict, so you don't say anything. Right. But sometimes people interpret the silence to mean, I don't care, you say what you want. And that also comes across with a negative feeling. Alright. So, I hope you all writing notes. Until tonight is writing notes, and if we're going to continue this next week, it will include that. Expressing regret by saying I am sorry. 2, accepting responsibility. Yes? By saying you are wrong. You see this thing about saying, if I've done anything to offend you, I am sorry, is not an apology. It says you do not even recognize where you went wrong. So don't use that. This one don't use either. I am sorry, but what happened is, but if you didn't do this, I would have never have. It's not an apology. You take full responsibility for your actions, not for what ensued from your action. Number 3, make restitution. Right? Making restitution says, yes, I offended you. Yes, I hurt you. Yes, I did this. And I'm going to do something to make up for it. So, by making up for it, you could say, let's say it's infidelity. I'm sorry. Being with somebody like you, I should never have done this. And I'm no longer going to be in communication with that person. I'm going to take them off of my phone. I will tell them that this is over. Whatever it is. But you must show restitution. If you got vexed and you mash up their phone, you must say, I am sorry. And I'm going to buy you back a phone tomorrow. I'm going to buy you back a better phone than the one I broke up. I should never have done that. Make restitution. Yes, Curtis, leave out the but and the ifs. Absolutely. Yeah, he reached. That's why I tell Ted I'm not bothering with him. School going on recess, and he now walking in class. That is the kind of guy he was since in school, That Ted. Alright? So, express regret by saying I am sorry. 2, accept the responsibility. 3, make restitution. I will make it up to you. And 4, genuinely repent, which means Repentance is a change of mind that is manifested because your behavior has changed. Oh heavens, if you hit the lady because you was vexed and you say sorry, you can't be coming again and hit her next time and say sorry again. So you must be able to say, I am sorry. This will never happen again. Make the promise and make the commitment. Especially if it is something that is so egregious that requires you to make that commitment. If it is infidelity, you can afford to say, it's not going to happen again. I'm not going to do you. Because there are some people, all the other excuses, or not excuses, all the other apologies. Some people, their language not taking just sorry. Their language not just taking, I am sorry and it was my fault. They want more than that. They want you to say, this is the last time. Every time you're vexed, you run away and you go on and rent somewhere, or you go on and live by somebody else and then come back. No, when you come back, you must say, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going again. You understand? Make up your mind. Latoya, when you get silent, the other person thinks they have control on you. Alright, I understand now, Latoya. Thanks. Timothy, when I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. When I'm right, to the end the argument, I still say I'm wrong. And for some miraculous reason, it works. So you're taking wrong every single time, my boy? You know that's not good either. Yeah. Once is a mistake, twice is a habit. 3 times is because you have no... I'm not going to say. 5th and final, love language. So 1 is saying sorry. 2, accepting responsibility. I did it. I was wrong. 3 is making restitution. I'll buy back your phone. I'm going to go back to the person and tell them that I lied about you. I'm going to say to them that I'm sorry for the way how I behaved in front of you and how I disrespect. Whatever it is, you make restitution. You're going to call her parents and say to the parents, you should not have carried on like that. But whatever it is. Number 4, you genuinely repent, I will not do it again. And number 5, you request forgiveness by saying, I value our relationship and I hope you will forgive me. There are some people you can't speak their language by just saying that you're sorry and expect that they will forgive you. They want you to ask for it and they must offer you. So you need to ask for it. Will you forgive me, please? Those are the 5 love languages. Tonight we had a full mouth. This might be a 3-course session. Next week would be certainly part 2, and we may have to do a part 3 for the week after that. But I really think that if people take this one seriously, we'll have some relationships being healed. Before I go, let me just remind you about this program that we have running now, Why Relationship Fail and How You Can Make Yours Succeed. It is $60 US or 410 Trinidad and Tobago dollars. You can call the number there, my number 480-0080, and sign up for it this week, sir, because we just started it, so you will be on time. Okay, nice, my people. Thank you all very much. And as we go, just remember, be good to somebody today. All right, love you all.
Set my
DJ, turn that music up, yes, turn it up loud. Never make it stop, take the message to the bar. This is how we do it, cause we talk the truth to power. Walking in the spirit, walking in the water. Happy that we dead, full 100. Walking in forgiveness, full 100. Healing from disease, full 100. Totally redeemed, full 100. Strength to the youth, full 100. Friendly with the truth, full 100. Free from oppression, full 100. Are we on a mission, full 100.
I'm letting you know my name. You set my heart ablaze. You set my feet on a solid rock to stay. I'm glad I made the choice. You've given me a voice, and now I can rejoice.